then Mo does visit Kyle at the house. I was confused that Kyle was kind of upset that he was happy that he was single. You got what you wanted.
I think it's because in a way he's winning. Look, he swapped that picture out for the other girl. Like I said, last season it was all cool. Morgan was around. She had her own life going. Now I think it's a little jealousy.
She faffoed.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Well, oh God, I'll spare you guys. I was about to do my Vanderpumpian British greeting, but we want
Thank
people
God.
to listen. We want people to listen.
We want them to listen. We want them to subscribe. That we want them to follow us. So let's just save that for. We got to keep them, wanting more. So we'll save that for special occasions. How about that?
I'll spare you this week, darlings.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Actually, this is coming out Thursday, December 5th. And then following day is December 6th, which is my birthday. So as a special birthday gift, if everybody could go onto YouTube and subscribe, if you haven't already, to our YouTube channel, because we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by New Year's, and we're 200 away. We're just 200. So yes, up. I know. So we were begging, borrowing, and making it our birthday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, whatever wishes, New Year's Eve wishes, to reach 1,000 subscribers by New Year's. So if you can please go do that. And also, look, if you want to Venmo me a birthday gift of cash, that's fine. I'll put my Venmo in the description box.
She's an enigma. She's a birthday girl wrapped in a podcast and cash.
Exactly. Look, it's really tough that the only time of the year that I ever get any gifts is the same time of year. And everything is a birthday/Christmas gift.
Did you get that as a kid? Like, did they try rolling them together?
Some people did, yeah. And now, once I went off to college, it was for sure that it was that. Yeah,
I would have done well with that because when I really, really want something, I stand my ground. I would have I would have been that kid in a viral YouTube video, in the middle of the store, demanding
the only problem is that, see, I think it could work for you because you were Jewish and you didn't have Santa being held over your head as a kid. Yeah. As a kid, Santa was too close. If I was my brother who's born in June, he could throw a fit, in June over something that he wanted. And my parents would forget by the time December rolled around that they were saying Santa won't be nice to you this year. But when you're only about 2 weeks away from Christmas, 2.5 weeks away from Christmas, you're like, eh. Yeah. I mean, and my friends who are even closer to Christmas or, right on Christmas. Oh, it's even worse. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Well,
there were lots of gifts in this episode of Beverly
That's
Hills.
Right. We're here for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And this one, the gift that keeps on giving. We got a lot of Kathy, Mrs. Hilton.
Yes.
Got a real window, and you guys got a real window into
more than just her foyer.
Yeah. So at the beginning, I guess, it's Kathy delivering her invitations to the housewives, hand delivering in her vintage. It's not hers. That was for filming, but it was perfect. It is that 80s convertible Rolls Royce Cornish that was in every Troop Beverly Hills, down and out. But it is just, it's so... It's the Kathy. When I think of Kathy in Beverly Hills, I think of that, and that car was that. She should buy it. She should make it her own.
Well, speaking of cars as well, right before that, Erica has her car delivered, and she has a Porsche Taycan. I don't know how you pronounce it. Delivered, and I was like, how do poor people get $116,000 Porsches?
Yeah. I'm sure it's a lease. I'm sure it's a lease.
It is. How could she even afford that lease, though? I'm like, God damn it.
Well, thinking about it, possibly there may have been an arrangement. The fact that it was delivered on camera, they went the extra step with a bow. There are like remember when Kyle years ago got that Maserati delivered when they were just
yeah.
up and comer millionaires? Just started fledgling tycoons. That was like, when you think about it, the dealer comes to the house and it's a whole production. You get like a discount of some sort. It's a trade.
There we go. Well, man, it's Kathy doesn't have to trade, but she does do things. She does do things for free. Well, not for free.
Yeah. Takes a lot to keep a roof over, as in say that roof over your head.
Look, I mean, I always say that like the rich don't stay rich by just giving away their money.
Yeah.
So there's always some give and take there.
Did you like how she? First of all, I have to say her driving tripped me out. I've never seen her drive.
When she was like, "I'm gonna say a prayer." Does she always pray when she's driving? Or was it just that car?
I've never seen her drive. I mean, it's just
No.
I assume this is why this whole scenario stood out to me. One, I just assume you go to Kathy's house. Kathy calls you. You are summoned to Kathy. Kathy doesn't come around. And number two, either a car sent for her, someone picks her up. She has a car. We've even seen her drive. But I mean, it's not. I'm like, what? But the fact that she said on there, well, delivering them will save me a few bucks on shipping.
Yup.
That one, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, yeah, it's those. I mean, although like it was kind of a cool idea, like giving them a whole suitcase full of stuff. Although I mean, Bose brought it up later on, but I was like, I can't believe she gave 2 Black women self-tanner.
Oh my God.
I mean, we know that it was part of like a promo package. Like everything in that space was promotional.
Yeah.
But still, there's like a very much like a, maybe you could have kept that out of like, and if Garcelle and Bose were like, we didn't get that. Well, we know. They're like, well,
yeah.
But Kathy was being all inclusive, so
that's
there we
right.
go.
I mean, you do another funny thing is this is what tripped me out, or this is what I was waiting for, and it turns out Garcelle happened to be in town because Garcelle lives way out in the valley by me. She lives in Porter Ranch. I was like, when Kathy was like going to drive around delivering them, I'm like, is Kathy going to like drive all the way out here? I was like, no way. I can't.
She's not getting on the freeway. No.
She doesn't. Yeah. I think as far as she goes into the valley would be Kyle's house. And it's, a couple exits away from her. And then as they're going, and she's like, oh, I think Garcelle's at a photo shoot down the street. Perfect. I was like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I cannot imagine.
Producing at its finest.
Yeah. There's no... Can't imagine her in the valley.
Well, can you tell us like who Carol is? Because also because it was funny though, because obviously Garcelle knows who Carol is because she actually hugged her first. And then when they went to Kyle's house, Carol was like, Kyle, I'm gonna eat some of your food. Like she was just like making herself at home.
Yeah.
So she's not unfamiliar to these women.
No, and not unfamiliar to me. I know her and her partner Mo there, Mohammed. Obviously, they put on their brand manager, which is kind of what you guys have seen her, by the way. She's friends with Marisol Patton, so you've seen she's popped up on Miami here or there. She's worked in publicity and branding, but she's also like Kathy's overall, like, what would you say, chief assistant?
Okay.
She does
chief of staff.
Yeah, chief of staff. She does a lot more than just branding. I mean, I saw online people were like, is she her babysitter? Is she her assistant? And kind of a mix of all that. I mean, you saw she runs and does things, but she's kind of, I'd say, like house manager, chief of staff, and then Mo works with her. Okay. And so they just kind of run the operations of what it is to be Kathy Hilton day to day. So she's not like an agent or a manager. She just, Kathy takes a lot of hand holding. Her life is very
Okay.
big, and she makes sure Kathy gets to like the doctors on time or the airport or whatever. So she's nice. I know them both.
Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, that explains it. So she was like almost in a way like Kathy was Santa and Carol was her elf.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She's like a what are the other terms? I'm trying to think of a major domo, like a chief coordinator.
Okay.
Kathy's
Oh, okay.
coordinator. That's a good
I
way
like
to
that. I
put
think
it.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Keeps track
Yeah.
of the seating placements and the RSVPs, just that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. That is perfect. Well, when she went over to Kyle's, and then they were sitting down, I thought it was interesting how in Kathy's confessional, talking about Kyle, she called it out. She's like, I think Kyle's just being overly sensitive right now to like what's going on between her and Dorit. It was I thought it was very ironic because you know how a couple of seasons ago Kyle was so upset that Dorit kind of took Kathy's side. But I mean, didn't really take Kathy's side, but just could see Kathy's side and was trying to help Kyle see Kathy's side.
Yeah.
So that hopefully that they could come together. That's the way that I was taking that. But obviously, as we talked about before, it is all or nothing. It is loyalty or nothing with Kyle. And so it's funny because Kathy was kind of doing the same thing in that confessional of like, seeing Dorit's side, but also seeing Kyle's side. But she was not going to say anything to Kyle, at least not on camera, like to be like, I think you're being a little too sensitive right now. Like this is a little too much.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what did she say that Kyle is hypersensitive right now?
Hypersensitive. Yep.
Yeah.
She is. But so is they're both hypersensitive, these women. Like they're both going through breakups and like and different anyway, it's like whatever. But I just saw like Kathy just sitting there going like, are we really gonna talk about this again? I guess we have to on camera.
She has such a diplomatic way of sidestepping that stuff. Like if you saw her on Watch What Happens Live, the episode that aired the night of this episode. So what was that, Tuesday night this week? Even Andy was like, come on, Kathy. When she was like, oh, I like Maurice. I find him charming. We have a good time. And he was like, when was that? 2015? And then they panned to Nikki and Nikki was laughing at the bar. Like,
oh my gosh. Also in the beginning, real quick, like they do all the montages and stuff like that, but you also had Kyle with Porsha. And the way they were like talking and interacting, I was like, oh, I feel sorry for Porsha because she's the last kid and now she's like stuck at home with like lonely mom. Like, and I always feel sorry for like the younger kid who is stuck with mom when the parents are finally getting divorced. Like they should have gotten divorced years ago, or maybe they should have waited till all the kids were out. Yeah. But no, something happened and there was one kid left. My poor brother was that one. Like I was already out of the house and my poor brother was stuck at home with angry, lonely mom for like a year or so. And I was like, oh, I feel sorry for Porsha because she feels like she finally got her license. She's like, I'm out. I'm out of the house as much as possible.
This it works in a way that she could play it to her. But look, she got a Porsche SUV for her 16th birthday. I mean, so you have two parents competing for your affection. And this sounds terrible. Like, I always wanted to be a child of divorce. No, I was like, look at the way they play. You get double gifts. They're going to she's going to get a high school graduation Birkin, and he's going to send her to Europe to top. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good position.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. She just have to put up with like whatever.
Lonely emotional nights by the fire. Yeah.
Just emotionally manipulate your mother, Porsha. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Well, then Mo does visit Kyle at the house. And I have a lot of like, I found the entire interaction confusing. I don't know if anybody else did. I mean, I have theories and I've got feelings about it, but the overall thing was like, I was confused that Kyle was so kind of upset that he was happy that he was single.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, wait a minute. You got what you wanted in a way. Like, it's the whole she faffoed. Like, she faffoed, and now like she's gotten what she thought that she wanted. Like, or like she wants to somehow seem like the scorned ex-wife, but it's not coming off like that. Do you know, does that make sense?
Yeah, because I was thinking last year when she was really parading around Morgan, like Morgan was on the show and everything, it was all cool because she had her own life now. But it seems kind of like that has slowed down based on what we're seeing on the show. And so suddenly now she's kind of walking around the house in her cozy sweater, wondering what to do with her life. And Mo's out there like decorating his bachelor pad. He's having the time of his life. So,
yeah. It's like, you know, because Mo bought his furniture. He's not renting it. Like, that says something about like something a little bit more permanent. And it was very confusing because, yeah, it's like, oh, she was playing like almost like the lonely housewife because my husband worked so hard and ignored me. So then I was trying to find myself, and I was filling up my life and OR schedules, but now I'm lonely, and now he moved out, and almost like he's now making sure that I know that he's happier now. And even though, allegedly he was fooling around. There's allegations all over the place that he fooled around while they were married. Nothing concrete has ever like come out. However, it's like, oh, well, like I wanted the kind of like poor me, my husband, my cheating trolley husband, like, but I'm not getting that type of sympathy. I don't know if anything I'm making is making sense, but again, I'm confused. Like, the way that she was acting was very much like, poor me, but not poor me. Like, I got what I want, but I don't really want it anymore. Like, why? Like, I want to have all the family still over for the high holy holidays and everything like that. Like, I was watching the after show, and she was like, "Oh, we still have it over there." And like, I haven't even seen his place. And Erica was like, "Oh, he hasn't invited." Oh, yeah, well, he's invited me over, but like, I've been out of town or this or that, or like, he wanted to have the holidays over at his place, but I was like, "Your place is too small. Let's just do it at my place." And I was like, "Well, then shut up." Like, he's doing the things that you wanted him to do, and then you're saying no.
Well,
so
I think it's because in a way he's winning. He's winning. Look, he swapped that picture out for the other girl. Like I said, last season it was all cool. Morgan was around. She had her own life going. Now I think it's a little jealousy. Like, look, she listed off with the condo. So living at the condo, you don't have anything to do. You don't have to clean. You don't have to
take care of dogs, anything like that. Like, and he's like, because I think he's like, yeah, no, I don't. He's like, and which is funny because, as we know, I like to throw a man under the bus, but I was like, no, he doesn't, Kyle. Like, no, you got what you wanted and he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Just be happy.
Oh, can we talk about his condo for a little bit?
Yes, please. Let's do.
So his condo is sick. Matt Damon just bought one in the building for $9 million. This isn't the Century, because we know I talk about the Century endlessly, unprompted, where Heather Dubrow and Candy Spelling lives. This isn't that. It's by the Beverly Center. It's a new building. It's called 8899 Beverly. It's on Beverly Boulevard. So it's not even in Beverly Hills. It's by like Cedars.
Okay.
It's a couple miles outside Beverly Hills, and it's brand new, ultra modern, ultra luxe, super, like the cheapest units, like $4 million. So
what's the cross street on Beverly? Sorry, I'm just thinking for like.
Let me look that up. The address is the name. I wouldn't divulge the address, except it's the name of the building. The building is called the 8899 Beverly.
Hold on, I have to look it up, but because this is not far away from me. I mean, it's West Hollywood, is what it is.
That's what. Yeah. So it's like ultra cool, ultra luxe. Like Matt Damon just bought a place there for $9 million. And so I would want to live there too. Well, she's out in the valley in her very family manner, her like family.
with nobody there. Like,
He's in the heart of the city living his dream bachelor life, his rich, divorced bachelor life, midlife crisis
oh
life.
my God. There's at least on Redfin, there is a penthouse for sale, Penthouse West for sale for $27.5 million. 4 bedrooms, 6 baths, 7,303 square feet. And oh my gosh, it's got like northwest facing views.
Yeah. See, he
It's
could have
pretty gorge.
for that price. He could have gone to like the Century or something where it's more. It's Heather Dubrow, it's Candy Spelling, it's that kind of Beverly Hills Kathy way. He went to WeHo where he is living his fast-paced sports car divorced party life. And that to me, just like the furniture, buying the furniture, living there is like I am single and ready to mingle.
Yes, that is for sure. I mean, yeah, because that's right in the middle of everything. It's very easy to get around.
It's kind of like in Mad Men when they get divorced and Don Draper leaves the suburbs and moves into like a high rise in New York, like swinging 60s. So
he's also only about like 5 minutes away from the agency as well. Like 10 minutes with traffic, to be honest with you. Like he's very close to his office. So
not too shabby.
I mean, but he's renting there, right? He did a 6-month lease. Yeah. So I mean, he's probably gonna extend that. I mean, it would already be 6 months at this point.
Yeah, it's hard to. I can imagine after being married that long and living like the working dad life, finally having that sick place. Like it's like he's like 25 all over again, but rich. It's gonna be hard to go back. It's gonna be hard to go back to suburban family life.
Oh my gosh. I think we should take bets. And I think people should in the comments on YouTube should take bets about like whether or not we think he is going to remarry within the next like 5 years. Because I put a prediction. Oh, by the way, we just recorded Astrology of Dorit. 2 parts. First part is more about Dorit, and then the second part is about her relationships with PK and with Kyle. But and then I ended up doing a little bit about Kyle, so we'll do Kyle next time. But I was like, I gave a little bit of a prediction on when I think that Kyle and Mauricio will divorce based on like transits to Kyle's chart. But so do we think that the over under on Kyle on Mauricio getting remarried, and B, do we think that he would start a new family? Because I think he'll marry somebody younger.
I think, and this is mine, that he'll marry someone younger and he's gonna have a boy. I think that would just be it would be so mean, but I think you know what I mean? The boy, the younger wife with the boy he never had. That one of those.
I think they would do IVF so that they could get a boy. Do you know what I mean? Because the sex is determined by the sperm. So sperm gets in there. So yeah.
I could see a boy. I don't know. That would just be. It would be total like Shannon and David Bedore style. That's where I'm going with it.
Oh my gosh! So put your predictions. Your over unders, your bets in the comment section, people, because I want to hear what everybody thinks. Maybe we're wrong, but oh my gosh! Oh, is he selling some of them?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know if he's paying for the lease.
I don't think he is. Because even that Penthouse West that I was looking at on their Instagram, guess who is listing it? Mauricio Umansky.
Yeah. So he got it. I mean, if anything, like if you guys have seen $1 Million Listing New York, they take on an agent like Ryan Serhan or Frederick Eklund. They take on the building and they represent the whole building. And so I have a feeling, like when I knew he moved there, like when he first moved there, it was even in like the Dirt, which we've had on the podcast. We've had Dirt.com on here. And they wrote about it, but they didn't say a purchase price. And I was like, that's a lot of money to just move around. So yeah, probably got a deal.
Definitely a deal. Awesome. Okay. Well, now my
Oh, you know what we should talk about though? This trip. I mean, it was
oh
all
yes.
leading up to we got this trip tip.
I know we're almost halfway through. We even haven't
Yeah,
gotten to the trip.
I was a little so you guys know Bravo puts together the accommodations and all the main things like that. Because okay, remember Kathy's first season on Housewives here a few years ago when she took them down to San Diego as well. But they stayed at the Grand Del Mar, which is a 5-star stunning resort. LeBron James had his wedding there. That is this
Nah, I know. When they pulled up, I
Oceanside.
was like, I mean,
It
when they
was
said Oceanside in the first place, like people have to understand Oceanside is where Camp Pendleton is. Camp
yeah,
Pendleton is a Marine base. Like the Marine base, like there's naval forces there. This is not Del Mar.
right.
This is not the rich part of San Diego County whatsoever. Can it be nice? Absolutely. Like it's got wonderful beaches. I'm not going to lie about that, but it is North County. North County, it is just over a little bit of the county line from Orange County. So it's not, I would, when they're like, we're going to Oceanside, I was like, what? Excuse me. You
It's
might
like
as well say you're going to Riverside versus Palm Springs.
it's like fine for us. It's not fine for Kathy Hilton. I was
No,
like,
exactly.
so Bravo arranges. It was nice enough. I mean, it's like a, but it was not. I was like, what did Bravo do here?
No,
This is it,
somebody
but
paid them. It was free.
yeah,
This is all a promotional thing for like,
yeah.
let's go to Oceanside. Oh, there's some nice outlets near there though.
That's my kind of a vacation.
Mhm.
Outlet
Maybe
mall.
Kathy will take you there.
Fingers crossed. Do they have like a Harry Winston outlet?
Yes, just for you. Yes. But you know what? It's in the back of a Toyota Corolla.
Oh, so on this, what happened on this trip? I mean, we got a more Jennifer Tilly's backstory.
Oh, finally. Finally. Now we understand why she's rich. If
Yeah,
we didn't before.
Simpsons money.
Mhm. Although there was somebody in our comments, one of our first episodes, who did explain that she had divorced the Simpsons guy. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then it came up, and you brought it up, and it came up again. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I had always wondered. I mean, I hadn't. I wondered when she came into this show. I was like, what kind of money does she really? I mean, I knew her from Chucky, Bride of Chucky, and the poker tournaments you see like midday on a Sunday on like TNT or something. I was like, she has that kind of money, and now I know. Yeah, she does.
Yeah. And also the fact that like they got married, they weren't married for that long, but the fact that like they also got divorced, and Simpsons was popular, but it wasn't the juggernaut. It's been going on for over 30, almost 40,
Yeah.
30 years now. So it's like, she's like, I had no idea. Nobody had any idea. So I love that. I love that. She's like, thank you.
She praised him every day. Thank you, son. And she married him shortly, but she married him before the show. So I mean, it wasn't. She really was there for the beginning of it. So
yeah,
she'll never
she
have
deserves
to
it.
worry with her $33,000 Louis Vuitton yacht bag.
Oh my God. I have to say that. Okay. I hate logos all over everything. I hate it. I don't give a shit like how much it costs. Like I really hate it. But I did love that bag, or like that ship, and I loved that hat bag because they were oddball, they were rare, they were unique, and that's not what everybody's going to have. Do you know what I mean? It's like everybody has that big like Louis Vuitton bag that you like basically is practically a diaper bag.
The
Now it
never
seems like
full.
yeah, exactly. Like everybody has these, the quilted Chanel black purse. Everybody has, well, not everybody, but like all the women on Beverly Hills have the same Birkins. Like just like when Kyle's like, I have that Birkin to Sutton. And it was like, it gets so boring. So I love the fact that also Erica was like, she's got these rare pieces and people don't realize it. And I was like, that's why I've always liked Erica, because she has a weird sense of style, like an avant-garde sense of style. And that's why I like Jennifer Tilly too. Like, she was packing. I was like, I love the way this woman packs. I love that she wears caftans and like, I wouldn't wear feathers, but I love that she has feathers. Like, I just love people who like, she's also like, she and Erica are like women who would like mix like extremely expensive with extremely cheap. And I love that shit. Like, I don't like, I want you to keep people guessing on how much shit costs.
Yeah. Those two in particular never really fit the mold. So, I mean, they are a little different. They aren't in the uniform, like a Chanel suit with a Birkin. They've always had like a little personal flair.
Yeah. That's why I love them. I loved it.
Yeah. To get that Louis Vuitton bag, those kind of custom or limited pieces, you have to be essentially a private client. You can't just walk into Louis Vuitton. It's not going to be just on a shelf. It will be shown to special clients and stuff. It's not like the totes. So, I mean, Jennifer Tilly drops a lot of money.
Yeah. If she could like Venmo something for my birthday. I don't need one of those bags. I just,
No, she does.
Nice dinner in London. There we go. Just want to pay rent.
I'm still holding out for one of these people to like, while they're on one of their sprees, just toss a like duffel in for me, like a carry-on duffel. Like, what? They're dogs, literally. I know people with dogs with more expensive purses and all this stuff. Like, just toss me a standard drug dealer duffel, Louis Vuitton. Like,
there we go. There we go.
Like a princess for a day, but.
It was funny when they were talking about Garcelle's dating life on the when they were playing the game of dicks on the Sprinter van, which I'm sure you loved, made you blush, I'm sure. But when they were talking about Garcelle's dating life and all the stars, and then Erica was like, I don't understand why she married who she married when she like dated all those stars. And I go, because those stars aren't as rich as probably her agent husband was. Well, except for Will Smith. Will Smith had a lot of money. Yeah. But like, I was like, because in a lot of ways, you don't marry the face. You marry the face behind the face.
Yeah.
You marry the brains behind the face is what you do.
Yeah.
So
who did she this? Sean Penn. I didn't know about Will Smith. Who is the other one? Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, I'm sure there's more because gosh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like the hot thing. Also, like people forget, like she was on the Jamie Foxx show for so long too. Like, yeah. Anyway, and that Tom Cruise impersonator, I was like, why did you guys do that? I hate celebrity impersonators. Historical impersonators I like because that's his history. We haven't seen those people. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's like Ben Franklin, we don't really know what Ben Franklin exactly looked like, except for what's on our $100 bills. But like a Tom Cruise, like I think it's because I live next to like Hollywood Boulevard. You know what I mean? And there's all those like there's Spider-Man and there's Superman, and I'm just like, stop.
That's what it reminded me of. Like if it was in LA, I'd be like, okay, it's like one of those Hollywood Highland guys who just like, but down in, I don't know. I don't know what their lives are like.
Well, this is the thing. I met the Superman guy many years ago who has since, I think they made a documentary about him. They found him dead in a dumpster, like truly like months after I met him and he was like, gross. Like he came into the bar that I worked in Hollywood, and he came to, and I was like, "You're the Superman guy on Hollywood Boulevard." Like, if I was a child, I would be so scared and disappointed. Like, this is, oh my gosh, it was sad though. Like, I have to, like, I'm being disgusting. He was disgusting, but he was also, it was just sad. It was just sad. Do you know when you're like, I can't help you, but like, oh, I feel sorry for you. And so then when you find out a few months later that he died of a drug overdose, and they found his body in a dumpster. You're like, oh,
yeah,
God.
that's why, especially like because he was this one on here was playing Tom Cruise in Top Gun, very clean cut. That's like the all American. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what I always wonder what their lives are like behind. Like you go, but like those images of like say a Mickey Mouse at Disneyland, and they're on their break with their head off, smoking a cig. Like
That's
I'm like,
what it is. Smoking a cig, effing Donald Duck in the employee break room. You know what I mean? Like that's what that crap is. Like
yeah,
they're human beings and they're disgusting too. So
there has to
or
be.
somebody's like, I've always wanted to F Tom Cruise. Let me be, you're my fantasy, whatever. Be my fan. Like I'm sure women have done that to that guy before. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. But can Kathy take us on a trip? I need some free gifts.
I have been on a trip with Kathy. Remember?
Yes, I do. So like, did you get free gifts?
Well, just going with her was the gift of like.
So now it's time to like raise it up a level.
I know.
Like, Kathy, I need some self tanner.
I could use some. I'm quite pasty. I had to turn my light on here, adjust it to a warmer tone. And so
truly, all of us on this podcast are built for indoor use.
Yeah.
Like Nate is the palest of us all, but yeah, I definitely have lots of warm light around me to help combat my reflective nature. But yeah. But anyway, but also why do rich people get all this stuff for free and us peasants have to pay for everything?
Absolutely. The less you need it, the more you get.
Yeah. Again, my Venmo is in the description. Happy birthday to me.
When you go to these people's homes and you just see the piles of deliveries they get daily or weekly from brands begging them to just take their products for free, it's amazing.
We're all in the wrong business. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to more of Oceans.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful Oceanside, California.
Da-da-da. So I mean, the main thing was, so they had the dinner. I mean, you see, one thing I want to point out, I'm telling you guys about this too. The guy doing Kathy's hair, he's a bit. You guys, his name is Chris Dillon, and he's a big deal. He does Kathy's hair a lot. He does Nikki Hilton's hair a lot. Dorit, Tracy Tudors. He's in the circle with the like glamorous one, but not just in LA people. I've met him and stuff, but he was at that Smirnoff party. You may have met him too.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's around a lot, and he was recently, I was dying. He recently went on tour a week or a month long tour with Lauren Sanchez, the future Mrs. Bezos. The first, second richest woman in the world, whatever. Can you imagine? She wrote a children's book and she went on a tour, a press tour with her hairdresser and crew. Like, I mean, so that guy lives. I mean, I know I have a lot of anecdotes and stories, but that guy has.
Dude, hairdressers and makeup artists have the most stories. They get, I mean, because damn, people spill, and you see everything and you say nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
and he gets to go on like the coolest stuff. So, but that was him.
Damn.
And yeah,
I love it when she was like, no, he's like, just one more, she's like, no, I don't want to be hot. He was like, just one more, like tried to put in one more clip in, Kathy, one more clip in.
She straight up takes them out. I mean, it's just not on TV.
I am sure when he saw that, whether or not, because he did go to the Surrealist Ball party, either if he saw her actually doing that in person or if he saw it later on the show, he was probably like, oh my God, woman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you understand how expensive that hair is?
Yeah. What's this thing going on the trip? I feel I don't know yet if it's tension, a seed that's been planted and where it's going to play out, or if it really was just a passing comment. But I feel like Dorit and Garcelle are going to fight over their new bestie, Boz. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, is that I don't disagree with Garcelle being like, well, I want to get to know her too. Like, I finally have somebody that I identify with more
Mm.
than you white bitches. Like, let's get real here. Like, here's somebody that I identify with, and I want to be able to like talk to her on camera and like us have that. So I don't disagree with that. Also because of like, you know, some insensitive remarks that Dorit has said in seasons past to Garcelle when it has come to race. And so I could see like Garcelle being like, "Oh, okay." Like being like, "So this is your new best friend. Like you're going to give her the grace that you didn't give me?" Like
I,
I
I
could
was
I could see that.
I was picking up on. I was trying to imagine what's going through Garcelle's head with that. After basically the past couple of years, Garcelle's called Dorit a racist or
Mhm.
implied
Yeah.
it, and then guess what? A new African American woman joins the cast, and guess who Dorit's new bestie is? And Garcelle's iced out. I
Mhm.
can't even do Dorit's vague accent, but
No.
just waving to her. Look at my new bestie, Garcelle.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like, "Look." I don't know, like, oh.
I thought about
I
that. I
mean,
was like,
mm,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I can see how Garcelle would be upset about that.
Mm.
I can because also she could be like, "Bose, you may not be aware of the things that she has said.
Mhm.
Can we maybe give Dorit some space to have grown?" Yes, but I don't feel that at least I am in that position. At least when it comes to that
Mhm.
subject. Does that make sense? That's not my place to say, "Oh, Dorit has grown and changed." That's not my place to say it when it
Yeah.
comes to that experience right there. So I will leave that to people who are not of the pale. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I am a person of the pale, and that is not my call to make there.
Well, I
So
mean,
yeah.
Dorit really is working at this season. I mean, she's coming, she's
Hmm.
going for Kyle. She is rebuilding bridges between in racial relations. I mean, she's getting divorced. She is like giving us a show.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. Yeah. Well, uh, you know, and I thought it was interesting because Dorit and Bose are having that conversation at the beach luncheon, and the rest of the table is kind of like, why are they just talking to each other? Like, why are they just doing that? And I was like, well, because they're just having a discussion. Like, they're just having like I didn't take anything. I didn't think it was weird. I because you could hear the other women talking.
mhm.
They're talking, they're having their discussions. I mean, that's what happens with a group of people. It's not like everybody has to sit and like have like this. It wasn't like the dinner discussion. Like this was a casual lunch and they end up talking and relating. And but I do believe though it was either Dorit or Sutton said this that like this is somebody new that she can tell all these stories to for the first time of some stuff. But
Yeah, it's a fresh. She has someone new who she can build. There's no previous. It's a
mhm,
fresh start, and
yeah.
she can give her the version that she of herself that she wants. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I also think too. I'm just thinking from more of a Lisa Rinna angle, who would have not put up with that conversation at the end of the table because it was totally normal. It was two people at the end of the table chatting in a big
Mhm.
group. But I do understand from a housewives perspective, it's what are they saying? They're taking camera time from the group. Now this dinner will be boiled down to their conversation. You know, thinking from a protection angle. And I could just see Lisa Rinna at the other end of the table turning, going, Dorit, were you guys doing coke in your hotel room? Just to like draw, like break that barrier. I am in this conversation now too. So that's what
Mhm.
I think the resentment was coming from them thinking about camera time, maybe. Because there was no other, it was
Yeah.
a normal conversation. You're at a birthday party, you talk to one or two people
Yeah.
or an event,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and Erica kind of shut it down because she was just like, they're just talking about because Eric had also talked earlier with Dorit in the hotel room
Hmm.
about the kids, I kind of tuned that out, to be honest with you, until Erica was like, why aren't they with their father? And I was like, oh, Erica, honey, because they don't know their daddy. Like, because he ain't never there. Like, this is just a man who just like floats in and out of their life like Santa Claus. Like, oh, some man is here to give us presents, spend a little bit of time with us. Great. And then he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about PK, Stacy? Tell us more. Yeah. Anyway. But dinner is at the very end, so we know that this is going to spill over into next week's episode. But there's an elephant in the room.
Oh God, I was so glad when Kathy revealed she was joking there. I was like, come on. So like, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And Kathy goes, there's an elephant? Where is it? I was like, oh my God, don't hung. Then she was like, haha, just kidding. Like, I was like, this is like Hunky Dory part 19. No.
Yep.
I mean, I have to say, Dorit really is reading here. Here is where, so they're breaking down once again all the reasons that they resent each other, Kyle and Dorit. And something that read to me, which like we talked about last week, Dorit's gone off Kyle's script. And that is where Kyle's anger, in my opinion, would be towards Dorit, because she has a click. She has a click. And when she brought up this episode, which she said, and you didn't defend Teddy.
Fox Force 5.
Teddy is one of Kyle's mouthpieces. I mean, we all know. That's why that guy brought up that comment, how everyone's annoyed by her. And so I felt that was reminding Dorit, you're on the outs of the Fox Force. Teddy sticks to my script. I'm going to defend her. You're out,
Well, and I think at least to me as a viewer, we're kind of like, what? That's another reach here. Oh, you were asked a question, Kyle, at BravoCon. You were asked a shady question. I mean, granted, I think most of us agreed with what he was asking, but, and now you're upset for Dorit not stepping in and helping to answer your question. No, stop it. You're reaching for shit. That was not Dorit's fight in that moment. And that would just cause more. And I don't know what all they're told to do, like, during BravoCon, but, and then she's like, oh, just do that. But yeah. And the funny thing was that I don't know how Erica felt about being drugged in, though, to Dorit dragging Erica in, because when she was like, I talked to Erica about this. I showed Erica the video from BravoCon, and she doesn't. And I showed Kathy the video. They don't think it's as bad, because I was wondering if it was as bad as you were saying. And then I watched it. I was like, this is not as bad. So I showed it to them. No, it's not that bad. Like, everybody, and every time Kyle comes back and she's like, but it's not just that. It's all these little things that keep adding up. I don't discount those feelings from Kyle, because I think a lot of times in a friendship, sometimes you do push down things. You're like, oh, okay, we'll just deal with that. No. But then eventually they do build on top of each other. But Kyle's, it's a house of cards, because it's all bullshit. It's all these things that she's just reaching for, and she's just upset about things. And I thought it was interesting, because when it came to the whole Teddy thing, Kyle said to Dorit, is like, you didn't want to say anything because it wouldn't be the popular thing. And Dorit was like, excuse me, no, that is you, Kyle. You're the one who cares about what other people think. And I don't give a flying fuck what other people think. And it was funny, because like if this was the real reactions, it wasn't just edited reactions, the reactions from Sutton and Erica and Garcelle were priceless, because especially Sutton's was like, oh, she got you, Kyle. She got you, because that is absolutely true. Kyle does care what people think.
You don't see these women stopping Dorit and saying you are out of line. Dorit's speaking on behalf of a lot of their experiences, Yeah.
And it was funny. Last night, I was watching YouTube, because I do a lot. And there's this guy who's been coming up in my feed a bit. And his name is Dr. K. He's known as the Healthy Gamer. And basically it was a short, and it was about like female bullying. And I was like, okay. And I watched the short, and then I ended up watching the entire video. And it was about how female bullying isn't the same as like male bullying. Like it's really about isolation and icing people out, and how it is non-confrontational, about how like you it's the avoidance of doing something. It's like, well, I didn't say that. And I think we do, to me, we see that in all the franchises, because these are small groups. Because he also talked about how like this is done in small groups of females. Like it's done in groups of like, 3 to like 6 groups of 6 women. If you get bigger than that, you get bigger than like 10 to 15, like you can't do that. You can't like ice them out. But in smaller groups, that's what happens. And Housewives groups are that small. Like you keep them that small and you can put somebody on the outs. And like that whole thing of like, because she keeps bringing it up, Dorit keeps bringing it up, she keeps icing me out. She keeps not talking to me about stuff. She keeps not inviting me to stuff. And that's what apparently what the literature and what the research shows, is that the way that females bully each other is by doing that, by also spreading rumors or talking about them behind their back. And that's another thing that Dorit was like, you've been talking about me on all these podcasts, on all these Amazon lives, on all these shows, saying all the stuff, like saying these things that are kind of like, well, we're not as close anymore because she did this. Like, she's my close friend, but we're not as close anymore with this. Like, she does these double things. She's like, you keep doing this double talk all over the place. I haven't said anything about you. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh.
She's going down the list. Kyle has no, because Dorit is sticking to her actions and her facts or whatever. And Kyle keeps coming up with, no, but what I think Kyle's trying to do is land a bomb, and none of them are landing. So she's like, wait, that was a smaller part. There's another and another until nothing's sticking.
You will all see the truth.
Yeah. Wait. Remember Easter 8 years? I mean, like, she's just like reaching for things. And Dorit's
I've got an
not
Excel
budging.
spreadsheet.
Yeah. And Dorit's not budging. She's just like, here.
No. And we're not here to say that necessarily Dorit is 100% right about this either. But it's funny because all like this fall, I've been hearing that Dorit was the villain, that Dorit is just terrible. Now, granted, I think there are a couple other fights that Dorit gets into with other people from what I've heard. But so far, Kyle is, again, I think it's that thing of like, we thought that Shannon was going to have a terrible OC season from what everything was being said. And now, everybody's like, no, we're all team Shannon. And I think people are like, no, we are not team Kyle. We are more team Dorit.
Yeah.
Like, we see the flaws in Dorit, but we're like, dude, people dislike Kyle way more. So.
Yeah. Oh boy. So it continues next season or next episode, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what we're going to get out of that.
I don't know. I mean, I love it when look, Dorit does talk a lot. I actually talk about this, like why she talks a lot and everything. There's a lot. So either Monday or Tuesday, the Astrology of Dorit Part 1 will come out. So if you want to know more about either why you like Dorit or don't like Dorit, watch it. It explains a lot. Because I have her rising sign, so that I can go deeper with somebody when I have their rising sign. It makes it a lot easier to like learn more about them. So, but yeah, like it's very interesting. Those two, Dorit's a Cancer sun and Kyle is a Capricorn sun. They're directly opposite each other. They were always going to be at odds. They're always going to like kind of pull away from each other. They were going to shine light on each other, but they were also going to pull away from each other. So, and the same thing with Erica. So Erica needs to be careful with Kyle.
Erica and Kyle. Okay, I thought you meant Erica. Yeah.
Because Erica's also a Cancer sun. So yeah. Anywho, that's all I have.
On that note, you know how you could help us upgrade from the Oceanside Hyatt to the Grand Del Mar?
Tell us more, Jordan.
All you have to do, it doesn't even cost you anything. All you have to do is rate, review, subscribe, and follow. That is correct. We are everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube.
Yeah, and we are so close to those 1,000 subscribers. Help us meet our goal. Help us meet our goal to go into 2025 being able to monetize. And again,
I like that.
2025 monetize. There we go.
We might send you a suitcase with some self tanner.
And look, if you want to drop me a birthday gift, I will. I'm being that bitch. I am going to put my Venmo in this description just for this one only, because it is my birthday. And yes, 'tis the season to celebrate Stacy. If Kathy Hilton hears this, she knows what to do. I don't need self tanner.
Someone's getting a monogrammed floral.
Beach towel.
Yeah. Adios.